A new study looks into the sex trade industry in Greece, and things are looking pretty terrible, especially considering the austerity in the country. Now, as you know, the economic meltdown in Greece has led to many terrible consequences, and one of those consequences includes sex workers who are selling sex for the price of a sandwich. Now, this was based on a study that was done by a sociology professor at the Panteion University in Athens. He looked at over 18,500 prostitutes in the country. And what he found was that people are so poor and so desperate in Greece right now that they are not only turning to sex work, but they're also trading sex for an insanely low amount of money. The study, which compiled data on more than 17,000 sex workers operating in Greece, found that Greek women now dominate the country's prostitution industry, replacing Eastern European women, and that the sex on sale in Greece is some of the cheapest on offer in Europe. So just to give you some numbers, when the economic crisis began in Greece, the going rate for sex with a prostitute was 50 euros or $53. Now it's fallen to as low as 2 euros or $2.12 for a 30-minute session.
Jeez.
Things have gotten pretty bad.
Here's something, that maybe this is awful to say, but this news going out is probably actually going to help their tourism. That's awful, but there's a lot of international sex tourism. And if that's the hub for prostitution in Europe, it is probably going to actually, oddly enough, probably help their economy.
Yeah.
So I don't want to speak for you. I think that you already agree with this. I generally think that prostitution should be 100% legal and regulated, but legal. If somebody wants to do that, I don't see how we have any right whatsoever to tell them that they can't have sex for money. Most people do it informally as it is. But I want it to be people who want to have sex for money, who want that to be their job. And clearly, many of these women would not be in prostitution if not for the economic situation of Greece.
Yeah.
And that's one of the worst things I can imagine.
Yeah, and I should also note that prostitution is legal in Greece. However, many of the brothels have gone unregulated. And so a lot of these women are kind of being pushed out into the streets in kind of unsafe situations.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring this story up to kind of show you what the price of austerity is. That's not to say that, you know,
that we'd have the same price here, perhaps?
Yeah, exactly. But there are real consequences where people are desperate, where they can't put food on the table, and so they resort to things as terrible as this.
Yeah.
And so my heart goes out to not just the sex workers in Greece, but the people of Greece, because they're dealing with some real consequences right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of it is going unreported and uncovered in the media.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other terrible things going on in the world.
Yeah, and I think it was actually, it might have been me and you that months ago we did the story about Greece was, they were involved in the renegotiation of the financial terms of the sort of bailout that they were getting. And there were debates about how much austerity they should commit to in the future. And we talk about those, and then, I mean, for us, we move on to other stories. But for the people of Greece, they live the consequences. And for many of these women, it's not the consequences that they perhaps would have wanted when they went to vote for politicians.